everybody. We're at our home away from home. This is vlog number 14. Autism vlog 14. Hi, Connor.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
I'm being Link.
So we're on official vacation. This isn't just a weekend trip.
No!
We're in this nice home up in Lake Tahoe. I'm going to show you outside here. Hi, Ian. Do you like it here?
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty. We're just over the Nevada border.
the flower table.
We're going to do some grilling here in a little bit, huh?
A flower table.
Flower table.
And some red chairs.
Yeah. You having a good time?
Yep.
So far, so good?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got a long time for a trip.
Yep.
So we drive a long time. So it's fun to drive.
What was it, like 8.5 hours?
Yeah.
We left at 2 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Just couldn't sleep.
I just slept a little bit when I got in a car.
Yeah. Are you trying to get into stuff?
Do we need
Not
to
too
wait?
shabby.
Do we need to wait for someone?
Airbnb. We're on top of another family. That's why I got this place for cheap. But I don't think they're going to appreciate the kids too much. Huh.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're on the 3rd floor, so that's good. At least we can come up here and put some barrier in between us and them. So that'll be good. So this is the front of the house. I guess you could say the back that connects to the street. You like it so far, bud?
Yeah.
So let's go towards the front of the house. Well, Ian got ahead of me. Anyway, them's the premises. All right, we're back at the house. Just chilling.
Oh no.
I'm glad we could get the kids out because they immediately go back to the video games.
Oh no.
Hey guys, so one of the things I want to talk about in the vlog is 3 questions I get, and they're very similar. They're very related to each other. The first one is a little bit depressing. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. I'll refer you to a link somewhere. And the question is, if we could detect autism in the womb, would we get an abortion? And the short answer is no. And that's all there is to it. We don't think an inconvenience is worth an abortion. Obviously in the case of rape or the health of the mother is in jeopardy, that type of thing, we would consider that. But anyway, moving on. I want this to be a happy vlog. Yeah, happy. Another thing, this is a question that's closely related to it that people sometimes often ask. We've even had a family member ask this. And it's if we could rewind the clock, if we could go back in time and we knew that our kids would have autism, would we still have kids? And to me, the answer is a resounding yes, we would. I'm sure if you had the choice between no computer at all and a computer that maybe has a few bugs and glitches, but you can do all the basic things like email, internet surf, gaming, things like that, you would choose to have a computer that has some glitches versus one that doesn't exist at all. Some people can't have kids, and that's how we feel about it. Is we're grateful for our kids, we love our kids, and we wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. So I hope that answers that. Okay, and the last question, and this is somewhat related to the others, but it's more hypothetical, is if we could take away their autism, would we? And to that, I would have to say it just depends on the day. So there's a quote from the book Carly's Voice. Probably a lot of you have heard of the book Carly's Voice, and I certainly can relate to this. And a lot of people do like having autism. I think they're in the minority. You know, people like Temple Grandin, who said, "I love the way it helps my mind think creatively and with visual aids and things like that." So some people do like having autism, and I don't want to belittle anyone who does have autism, but you do have to know how hard it is on autistic caretakers and other people who are trying to relate to autism. So let me just read this excerpt really quick from Carly's voice. We met other families in the autism community, and this is the dad speaking. Many seem to embrace their child's disorder as if their uniqueness was benign as left-handedness or freckles. I think they are in denial, Tammy once said, Tammy being the wife. I sensed their admiration of their child's unusual behavior to be genuine, and I was jealous. I saw no beauty in this condition. Autism was a thief. The opportunities it stole from my Carly were obvious. The chance to participate, to play, to learn, to fit in. It stole a sister from Matthew and Taryn. It stole energy and money and patience. It was stealing our daughter, bit by bit. I saw no beauty, only evil. What force of good attempts to rob a parent of the love of a child? I was greedy. While I had 2 children with whom I could speak, play, and be a father, I wanted all 3. And yeah, I definitely can relate to that. There are times where I just want autism to go away. I'm like, it's not worth it to have this. It's just, I see my kids in pain. You know, I see Alistair in pain. I see him try to force a smile. This beautiful smile through, you know, just being tired with circles under his eyes because he doesn't get good sleep. He just wakes up in the middle of the night. And he's just agitated and he cries for no reason. So autism can be a thief, and I definitely get that. So to me, the other side of the question, would I take away their autism, is no. And the reason I wouldn't take it away is because it's taught us as parents patience, humility, kindness, and compassion, beyond, I think, what we would normally experience with a typical child. And it's really helped me as a father to learn to love my kids and to look after them. I think another thing too is, as far as my faith is concerned, has helped me a lot. If I didn't believe in God and His plan, yeah, I would say take away autism because I don't understand. But I think it's a lot like Job, where, you know, Job had a really hard time in the Old Testament, Job, and he just went through the worst trials. But at the end, God compensated for that. He gave him more of an increase, double of what he had. And to me, that's kind of the same thing as we have greater trials, as a lot of people see it that way, autism being a greater trial. God compensates. He makes up the difference. And that's helped us a lot. Another thing we believe in is the resurrection. So after our kids die, after we die, everybody will be resurrected. Not everyone will be saved, as in salvation, but everyone will receive a perfect, immortal body. And when that takes place, we'll get to see our kids as God intended, perfected beings, without autism, without any failings of any kind. And the same goes for us too. I mean, every human has problems like poor vision, disease, mental illness, depression, things like that. So as we're all perfected, we'll get to see each other perfected. And that gives me hope in the end that we'll one day see our sons as God intended. So there's also a quote, and it's kind of it sounds silly at first, but when you think about it, it is an important quote. And it is, wherever you are, you're there. In other words, take an evaluation of your life, your surroundings, your blessings, and take that into account. And then you'll realize that you do have a very blessed and enriched life. I certainly feel that way. You know, we could complain and say, oh, we're a single car family on a single income in a condo instead of a house. But right now we're up at Lake Tahoe, one of the most beautiful places in the world. And we got to go boating the other day. We got to see beautiful sights. I have an amazing family. My wife is one of the most remarkable women. And I know it's cliche. Some people say 1 in a million. I say 1 in a billion. She's 1 in a billion. She's super compassionate and funny and sweet and kind and smart. She loves to read. We have great conversations together. We're really great friends. And she really pulls through for our kids. Ian, I mean, he's Mr. Adventure. He's my outdoor buddy. But he also helps around the house a lot. He's very helpful, and he looks for opportunities to serve. And that's really surprised me as someone who has autism, how outgoing he is to help other people. Then you have Connor, who's just, man, that kid would not hurt a fly. He loves people genuinely, and he loves peace, and he loves to be calm. And he's just a really grounding influence sometimes. Not when he's angry or having a meltdown. That's the flip side. He can get really bad, but most of the time he is the quiet one in our family. He's the one that we can rely on to be quiet and peaceful and to curl up and read a book with. We love Connor. He's just a sweet boy. Alistair, he's just full of sunshine. We call him our sunshine boy. And he's just full of life. And his smile, I mean, you could be having the worst day and you see him smile and you're like, you know what, it's worth it. And again, I'm sorry if you guys don't know, you haven't seen our other videos. We don't know if Alistair is autistic yet. We're 95% sure. But I don't want to say anything with certainty because we want to get a professional diagnosis. We don't want to be one of those parents who's like, oh yeah, I got on WebMD and my kid has this, 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 and this. Because you're playing a risky game. For example, my little sister, she thought her kid might be autistic because he avoided eye contact, he was sleepy a lot, he had the dark circles under his eyes. As it ends up, he had a breathing problem. And so he went in for surgery on his nasal passage to help him breathe better. And there was a marked difference in his reaction to the surgery, and he's a lot better and he's talking more. So what they thought could have been autism actually ended up being a breathing disorder. And yeah, I mean, you never know. So it's important not to self-diagnose. So we're going to wait for probably another year before we get Alistair diagnosed. We want to do it the right way. So yeah, if you take anything away from this video, I hope you remember it's just like Job in the Old Testament. If God gives you greater trials, He's going to compensate and give you greater blessings. So if you are a family that's struggling with autism or know someone who's struggling with autism, I would hope, and again, I'm not forcing my religion on you, I'm just expressing my beliefs, but I hope you can trust in God, because without that, I think dealing with autism is a lot more difficult. But if you can put your faith in God and His plan and His way of doing things, I think it'll go a lot better for you. So I hope that helps, and as always, thanks guys for watching and supporting our channel, and spreading a good message about autism. And yeah, we'll see you next time.